The G20 is happening in South Africa. It's beautiful, it's powerful, it's strong, it's nice, and an African country has handled this greatly. In spite of the fact that many people were speaking klaka over South Africa, especially Donald Trump saying that he's not interested in going to Africa. South Africa shouldn't be part of the G20. The G20 has happened.
I mean, if you take a look at what's going on in parts of South Africa, look at South Africa, what's going on. Look at South America, what's going on. You know, I'm not going to, we have a G20 meeting in South Africa. South Africa shouldn't even be in the Gs anymore because what's happened there is bad. I'm not going. I told him I'm not going. I'm not going to represent our country there. It shouldn't be there.
Matter of fact, curiously, Emmanuel Macron of France said they should move ahead even if the United States of America decides not to be president. Interesting, huh?
The first G20 of the African continent. And you can be proud to have your president and his team organizing this G20. This is why I'm here. A few years ago, I was the one with some colleagues to advocate a permanent membership of the African Union. Africa has to be much more valued and recognized in the G20. And now, thanks to South Africa, this is the first one to be organized on this continent. So for me, by itself, this is a game changer. This is a very complicated moment. The world is divided on trade, on geopolitics, regarding climate change. And for me, the objective, and this is the DNA of your country, this is to unify people. And during 2 days, we will do our best to unify what is diverging in other places.
Yes.
And on prosperity and fight against inequality and climate change and geopolitics, our discussions will allow us to work closely together. You can count on the support of France, but this is a very important moment, and I hope you are very proud to have this opportunity and this leadership. Our duty is to be present, to engage and to work all together because we have so many challenges. The only way to address these challenges is through cooperation, common work on climate change, on economy, on fight against poverty, on geopolitics. So, I mean, I have no comment to make. I hope they will join again. But, and my guess is that they will join again because they will share next year.
Very interesting. Now here we're going to listen to one speech that's very powerful from a very powerful woman. This is the President of Namibia, Mama Nandi. Beautiful lady, strong, amazing. You know, she's transformed the country since she's been in power in a very particular way. Let's hear what she has to say.
If our financial architecture is not fit for the purpose, we'll continue to see the pressure of a looming global debt crisis that intensified imbalance between developed and developing countries. We are not seeking for free money. We want a fair and equal financing opportunity.
We are not seeking for free money. We want a fair and equal financing opportunities. Stop treating African countries like they're beggars. They are not. That's over. Let's go.
Excellency Dr. Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, the President of the Republic of Namibia.
Obviously, Cyril Ramaphosa, Uncle Cyril, Muyomba Cyril, Noko Cyril is speaking. When he's speaking, you need to listen. Let's go.
Thank you, Your Excellencies. Namibia thank and congratulate Your Excellency President Ramaphosa, the government and the people of South Africa for bringing G20 to Africa, placing Africa's concern in the agenda of the summit.
Congratulations, Big Coffee for South Africa. Yes, G20 in South Africa. Great things are happening. Apparently, South Africa's cleaned up the roads. You know, they fixed the traffic light, making sure everything's running smoothly. All the homeless people have been kicked away. Like, go hide, you can't be here. Hopefully, they find good things for them too, and the roads remain clean, and the traffic lights continue to be functional. That's beautiful. Let's go.
And for the kind invitation extended to my country. Guided by the African Union Agenda 2063 and the UN Agenda 2030 for Sustainable Development, the importance of addressing development priority from the African perspective cannot be overemphasized.
Okay, so it's very important to understand why Namibia is there, okay? G20 is the 20 most powerful countries, most powerful economically in the world. and South Africa is supposed to be the only African country part of this. However, when you have an event like this, you can invite other countries. And obviously, South Africa has extended their hand, inviting a few African countries, including Namibia. Let's continue.
Developing countries find themselves on debt trap as a result of capital high cost for developing countries based on the perceived risk that does not reflect the reality on the ground. In the face of unfair financing terms, recently Namibia honored its international obligation by redeeming its 750 million Euro bond on time.
Okay, congratulations, Piga Makofi. Yes, that's correct. Namibia paid its money back. Okay, the debt money in Namibia successfully repaid its ever debt obligation at $750 million Euro bond, matured in October 2025. Congratulations to Namibia. Many African countries are struggling to repay. They have done it. I don't know if it has anything to do with having a mama at the top of the lead. I don't know if this lady has played a major role. Sometimes you need a female, with maturity to guide you. Let's continue.
Signifying strong physical responsibilities. However, we are considered by decision makers as a risk country.
Why?
We need a fair international financial institutions.
Absolutely.
Being the most meaningful way, we can place people at the heart of sustainable development. Our focus on advancing the transformation of global governance must be underpinned by the common understanding that only an inclusive and representative international system will have the capacity to respond to the present day challenges.
Okay, let's break this down. Mama just said here, we've paid $750 million of our debt, but we are still perceived as a risk country? Why? I mean, you gave us data. We've built infrastructure. We've built roads and hospitals and other things that are sustainable for the country. And we have been able to pay you back. Why are you still considering us as a risk country? We can't continue like this.
If our financial architecture is not fit for the purpose, we'll continue to see the pressure of a looming global debt crisis that intensified imbalance between developed and developing countries. We are not seeking for free money. We want a fair and equal financing opportunities.
Okay, so basically these institutions, for those of you who don't know, I know some of you are very, very smart, smarter than me, but just bear with us because some of the people here don't necessarily understand. The IMF and World Bank are these big institutions that provide funding and money for poor country or countries in difficulties. They will give you some of the money to build your schools, your hospitals, your road and other things that are sustainable, but with expectation that you're going to repay the money with interest. Now, these things are set in a way that sometimes it becomes very difficult to pay back the money. And once you cannot pay back your money, then they're going to move in and take your stuff. Now, as opposed to many African countries where corruption also is part of the reason why people fail, Namibia has been tremendously effective. But why is it still considered as a risk country? Let's go.
For Namibia to grow and industrialize our economy, Namibia is welcoming investors to invest on value addition at source for our natural resources, including critical minerals, to yield a broad-based benefit for all our people. To leave no one behind, countries must mobilize adequate resources for development, apply responsible debt management, and safeguard resources for essential social and economic programs such as education, health, and infrastructures. Namibia urges the G20 leaders to strengthen debt treatment framework by providing consensual financing to countries that demonstrate commitment to sound debt management and to be innovative in strengthening others. As we strive towards reducing inequality within and among countries, fair taxation, financial inclusion, and social protection are essential tools.
Yes.
In Namibia, social protection coverage has expanded with
Absolutely.
old age grants reaching 98% of eligible citizens.
Okay, so in Namibia, old age grant, that's the money that you give to old people, senior citizens, and people that don't work anymore. It has reached 96%. That's money being given to people looking after the community. So your grandfather who cannot work gets some money from the government. It's not a lot of money, but it's money. It helps him do the basic things. Isn't that beautiful for an African country?
And children grants stand at 66% of vulnerable children. These measures ensure that vulnerable groups that include people living with disability are supported in the path to prosperity. It also allows women and the youth to play their role in development.
Okay, so you have a society where elderly people are looked after. Children with no fathers, because some of you don't like to be fathers, are looked after. People with disabilities, blind people, crippled and all that stuff are looked after. Isn't that a beautiful society? They're not left by themselves, go trying to find ways in havoc. That's how a society has to be.
As I conclude, I can say let us reaffirm our shared commitment to inclusive and sustainable economic growth.
You can see the food moving
guided by the SDGs.
Food is passing.
By focusing on...
They're about to eat, my brother. You see, they are eating South African mohodu. This is mohodu. Look at mohodu. Let's go. Sorry, it's just me. I think about food all the time.
3 pillars. 1, strengthen trade drive economies. 2, securing financial for development, while responsible managing debts and reducing inequality through inclusive policies.
Okay.
And all these are talking to the theme of this conference, which we really very much welcome, namely solidarity, equality, and sustainability. Thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you, President Nandi Ndaitwa.
Food is here, my brother.
President of the Republic of Namibia. I now call
Look at
upon
Mr. Lamola is happy.
His
Look
Excellency.
at the guy on the right-hand side of the
Dick
president
Scott.
is happy.
I now move on to ask His Excellency Dr. Julius Maada Bio,
Look at Mr.
President of the
Lamola.
Republic of Sierra Leone and the Chairperson of
He's
the
eating.
Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS.
Thank you very much, fellas. Let me know how you feel about this. It was a great pleasure. God bless.